gentlemen, welcome to the celebrated Truth Teller YouTube channel. And today we'll be talking about an issue that has torn families apart, taking father away from children, taking mother away from children, even went as far as we've heard about killing one another, and it's called child benefit. And today, the Truth Teller will be talking about it, letting people know and advising people about the way to go about these child benefits in Europe. So, first of all, I welcome the Truth Teller. You all know him.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
He's going to be talking about child benefits in Europe. So, Elder, first of all, I would ask, what is child benefit in Europe?
Yeah, child benefit, as the name implies, child benefit is a kind of money, a particular kind of social allowance, it's a social financial support, that the government in Europe, America, Australia, and other advanced countries give to parents, in supporting them in the care, in the financial requirements of their children. All right? The government sees that parents have the financial burden, financial responsibilities to cater for their children. And that's why they have evolved a program, a social system, where probably every month the European government countries, and maybe in America and other advanced countries, give this financial support to parents, to enable them caution the financial requirements of their children. That is just all. That is what is called social benefit. It's child benefit. They give this money because of the child. Because of the child. They are not giving this money to parents to buy new clothes or to do other things. They are giving it to the parents for them to use it for the benefit and needs of the children.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you, Elder. My second question was almost answered in your explanation, because I wanted to ask this question, but I will do so that you can also buttress on it.
Yeah.
What is this money meant for? What is it really meant for? Before we go into go further in this topic,
Yeah.
we really want to let our viewers know, what is this money meant for?
Okay.
Yeah.
You see, child benefits, or is like I said earlier, it's a financial support from the government, to parents. This money is particularly made for different purposes. For example, this money is meant to be saved, for the child or for the children. And when need arises, like changing, buying a new shoe, buying a new school bag, and some other requirements for the child, the parents can take from that money and provide those things for those children, without necessarily having too much stress in dipping hand into their own salaries and all that. So it really makes taking care of children, making the financial requirements of children to be less, the financial burden, responsibilities to be less on parents. That's the purpose for that money, and it is used to, it can also be saved for that child. You can save the child's benefit, financial benefit from the government. You can save a percentage of it for that child. Because you see, in Europe, when a child gets to 18 years old, they are becoming almost independent of themselves. Now they will require to go to driving school, they will require to buy a car, they will require to do some other things that adults do. Okay, and all these things cost money. So the government gives this money to us, those of us based in Europe who have children. They gave this money to us to help us plan for the financial requirements of our children, even in future. Okay, you see, that money is given so that we can organize it. We can have a kind of financial, we financially organize in a way that we can save that money and put some of it apart to be used for that child in future, even up to when that child becomes an adult, becomes 18 years old or 19 years old. Okay, so and for some other daily requirements of that child. For example, the educational requirements, the clothing requirements, the other social engagement requirements, like going on vacation, in certain areas. Sometimes our children go on vacation, we don't go with them, okay? And they need money to go to this vacation. They need money to go to excursions. They need money to go to trips. They need money to do so many other things that youth do in Europe, okay? And so it is from actually that money that the government expects you to get the financial need for your child, okay? And it makes life easier. It makes life really easier for parents to be able to provide these needs for their, for the benefit of the children.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elder. Thank you very much for giving your own perspective on that one. So the next question I would like to ask, because this one has been like a real big trouble we've been hearing about. Mother fighting the father fighting the mother. So who do you think, Elder, should be in control of this particular child benefit? Who should be in control? Who should keep this money?
You see, this is a little bit of a tentative question. It's a little bit, generally, I would say that money from this child benefit should be controlled by both parents, in agreement together on how they make use of that money. Should be controlled by both parents with an agreement from both parents, because a child is born by two people, okay? But basically, I think the money should be in the hand of the wife. It should be in the hand of the, under the custody of the woman, of the mother of the child or the mother of the children. Hoping that the mothers will be responsible enough, will be organized enough, will be prudent enough to really be in honest custody of that money. Okay, so but ordinarily I want to advise that the child support money should be in the custody of the woman, of the mothers, okay, not the man. Okay, for example, when we got married, our marriage certificate was given to our wife. The marriage certificates under normal circumstances are given to the woman, to the wife, not the man. Okay, I think it is believed that women are better custodians, and so on this occasion, when it comes to keeping the money for the children or for the child, I think it should be under the custody of the woman.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Elder, for giving your take on that. And the next one, we have seen that, be that may, you said the custody of the money should be with the mother, and both parents controlling how the money is being used or how it's being disposed.
Yeah.
But we have come to see that there has been a lot of arguments concerning who keeps the money, how the money is spent. So should there be any argument in a real setting? Should there be any argument?
Well, it's very unfortunate. It's very sad. It's very unbecoming that parents, we hear that parents fight over child benefit. They become violent. They litigate. They quarrel, and they fight each other over the benefit that the government has given to you to take care of your child. Is quite a shameful happening, But anyway, I don't think parents should be fighting over this money, because first of all, the money does not even belong to the parents. It belongs to the child, okay? And so I think every responsible parent should be able to come together and agree on how much they will keep for the child, how much they will save for the child, how much they will put apart for the daily expenses of that child, and be able to plan together and organize the financial requirements of that child even for the future, like I said earlier. So I don't think there should be any quarrel when it comes to keeping and disbursing the child benefit of in any family, in any marriage, among any parents at all. I don't think there should be any fight, there should be any trouble, in organizing and deciding who and how the money should be spent on the child, And basically, I think, people have called me and they have told me about how trouble in certain marriages, among certain couples, why they fight. A man called me from Germany and told me that, look, Elder, my wife, sent the money, the child benefit I was giving to our children, without my consent. She sent it to Africa, to her family, or for her to buy something and to buy a landed property, in Africa. And the man did not agree with that. The man said his wife sent the child benefit to Africa to buy a landed property without his consent. And so that was on his own occasion, the purpose for which they quarreled, and it became violent. Okay? And so I think parents should be responsible enough to have at least a simple custody of their children's benefit. It doesn't require to fight. It doesn't require you to fight. And men, I want to advise men. Look, a man should be a man. A man should not be too nosy.
Conscious.
Should not be too nosy about where is this 1 kobo, where is this 2 kobo, what did you do with the money and all that. Sometimes we leave our wives to spend the child benefit according to their own discretion, according to their own decision. We as men should not be too nosy, should not be too overzealous in controlling every 1 kobo, every 2 naira, every 5 euros that comes as a result of child benefit. And I would advise also the ladies, please, if this money is put in your custody, don't spend it on buying clothes. Don't spend it on buying new shoes. Don't spend it on buying new makeup and new Brazilian hair and all that. That money does not belong to you. It belongs to your child. It belongs to your children. And which means if you are spending that money on your new Wivon, on your new Brazilian, Peruvian hair, and you are buying and you are spraying money in parties, you are taking your child benefit and you go all over the place and spend it. And this time I'm talking to both the man and the woman, and you are spending your child benefit in spraying money on people in parties, in doing things that are not related to why the government gave that money to you. You are doing a great disservice, a great harm and damage to your child or to your children, because you are not planning for their future. You are just wasting their future, and you are spending it to please yourself. That is very selfish. That is very wicked, and that is very irresponsible.
Thank you, Elder, for that, for your take on that. And lastly, I would like to say, because you have already done advise them on asking them what to do, but I want to say lastly what we have seen, or what we have heard, that this child benefit has broken a lot of marriages. Because of child benefit, you see a man and a wife that have been together, they broke up because of it. What do you think? I don't know how to put it now. What should be the mindset of a man and a wife having a child, and getting benefit from the government, what should be their mindset so that it doesn't lead to divorce, it doesn't lead to broken homes?
Well, it's quite funny, but on the other hand, it's not really funny because I can't imagine a situation where or just a child benefit for your children brings in the kind of litigation and quarrel that will make you to break as a couple, that will make people to divorce, to separate. You know, just child benefit. It's not right. You know, I think what should be the mindset of parents is one, the government gives that money to you, not for you. It's not for you. That money does not belong to you. Okay? And that should be the first mindset of parents. You know, having that money, knowing that this money does not belong to me and does not belong to my wife. Okay? And then, which means we need to, keep this money for the benefit of our children. That is why it is called child benefit. Okay? So, it's for the benefit of the child. So, that's the mindset that parents should have. If they have that mindset, if they believe right from the onset that this money belongs to our children, belongs to my child, they will not be fighting over it, because you cannot be fighting over what does not belong to you. All right? It belongs to your child. It belongs to your children. All right? And if you have that mindset, you will be able to come together as a couple to think about how best you make use of that money for the benefit of the child. Don't spend that money believing that you are the parents and you have a right to spend the money anyhow you want it. It's not allowed. It's not done. You know, you see, particularly here in Europe, if you are not careful, your children will just grow up, when they grow up and start to realize that the parents are not financially responsible, it damages a lot on our children. It changes their orientation on their financial responsibility. Okay? And so the mindset that I would push forward, that I would emphasize for parents, is knowing that this money, this child benefit, does not belong to you. It belongs to your child and your children, and it's for their benefit. Okay? If we are able to do that, if most couples are able to do that, but you see, there's a problem somewhere. You know, this problem is that certain people who have children are not married. You know, they are not legally married. They are not really a couple in a home. You know, many of them, a large percentage of people who get child benefit, who have children, they are not married. This one is a single father, and the other one is a single mother. So when the money comes, mostly in Europe, children stay more with the ladies, with the mothers. Okay? And so certain fathers are concerned. They want to, because they know this child gets a lot of money from the government. Okay? And so the man begins to ask questions. The man begins to, want to know how the money for my children are being spent or is being used. Okay? I think in most cases, that is where the problem comes in. If the man is not satisfied with how the child benefit was disbursed, was spent, then he begins to make trouble. And certain ladies are not humble enough to give humble and peaceful answers to questions. You know, when the man asks, the woman gets provoked and shouts and will not give any answer. Okay? Believing that I am the mother of the child. In fact, I'm a single mother. You are just on your own, and I'm on my own. The fact that we have children together does not give you the right to begin to ask me questions on how I spent the child benefit of our children. I think in more cases, that is what brings the problem. Okay? And if we guide against that, whether you are married or you are single fathers and mothers, just have it in mind that that money does not belong to either of you, the father or the mother. It does not belong to you. It belongs to your child or your children. And so please have it in mind. Spend that money for the benefit of your children, not for yourself, not for you to buy a new car or a new shoe or to do any other thing. You must keep that money. If there is no need, if there is no requirement, financial requirement for the child right now, keep that money, save it in an account, in a bank account, where when it is needed by that child or those children, you will have it to spend for them.
Thank you, Elder. Thank you very much. Elder has just given us his candid opinion about child benefit. He talked about what the meaning of child benefit is. He talked about who the money is meant for. That is the money is meant for the children, and that both parents should come together and have an agreement on how this money should be spent. And he also talked about the money not causing argument, that both parents should at least come together and see that the money is for the child and it's properly disbursed for the child welfare and his future. So thank you for today, and that is the end of today's topic. And please don't forget to leave your comments and subscribe and share this video to help those people who don't know. Elder Uyi is a counselor, and he tells the truth, or he gives his candid opinion on issues. So if you have issues, you can also email him and send him a message. He will be able to advise you. Thank you, and have a blessed day.
Thank you so much.